Giraffe have two goals. We have a higher order goal, and then we have an intermediate goal. And the higher order goal is to make better cities. And we understand better cities as cities that lead to human flourishing. Cities that are equitable and beautiful and efficient and lead to enriched lives of the people that live in that city. And that's not easy because cities are also systems of systems. They're not just a single thing. They're not just a road network. They're the road network and the politics and the rhetoric and the park systems and the water and the power and the chemistry and the soil chemistry. It's almost every field of human endeavor comes to bear in these systems that we're building that are called cities. And it's not easy to get them right so that they do lead to human flourishing. It's easy, to get situations where those systems can isolate people or are inefficient or lead to frustration and ugliness. And so we want to be supporting the decision makers that make those cities as much as we can. And for us, decision makers are humans, because if the city is judged by human experience, the only people that are competent to design it are humans. Because an AI is not going to live in the city, the AI is going to live in the computer, but humans are going to live in the city. And so human judgment is key to a city's being excellent. And so then our intermediate goal becomes to make software that helps human decision makers make great decisions, make profitable, lovely, efficient places. And we're doing software and not running a design firm or something like that, because we believe that software can help human beings make better decisions. So Steve Jobs spoke about the bicycle for the mind. The computer is the bicycle for the mind. And what an image. The bicycle is this simple machine that turns the job of transportation plus some muscular energy in the quads into this incredibly joyful experience. People ride their bikes for fun because it is fun. And we basically want to get to the point where Giraffe is fun. It's doing work, it's doing an analysis, and it's doing communication, but it feels like fun. And that's why we started with such a simple thing, which is Giraffe lets you draw directly on the map. You don't have to copy, paste, and scale stuff. You just draw on the map where you are. Then you tell Giraffe what it is, and how many levels it has, and Giraffe does the numbers for you. It starts returning the facade area and all the areas you would need. And you can stretch and skew this thing, and Giraffe does the hard work of the maths, which the microprocessor is so good at. And so it feels fun. And you can see how much it depends on good judgment to draw that line. Like the person, the line is fully down to the expert's judgment. And with Giraffe 4, we've gone to the next level, where not only are we using the computer to do the analysis of the areas of the line, but we're using the computer to generate more geometries. And what do I mean by generate? Here's a good example. So here's a line that I'm drawing, and Giraffe is generating trees. So as I slide this thing around, Giraffe is generating these trees. And to drive home how much Giraffe is doing, I've got 34 features here that I've drawn, 34 rectangles and lines, and Giraffe is generating 329 geometries out of those. And that's why this little digital twin that I have here looks so rich and varied, because Giraffe is building so much for me. Like if we zoom in to these commercial towers on this retail podium, there's an algorithm, a subdivision algorithm, that's targeting a site area of 2,000 square meters, and then it's offsetting a tower and popping it on the top. And so I, as a user, am just inputting a simple polyline, and Giraffe's doing all the rest. And it's fun, and as I do it, the analytics is changing. All the numbers are done. Here's another one. Like as I draw this park, Giraffe surrounding it with trees. And so this simplicity and judgment. Like, what would a good park be? Or where should these towers go? What kind of environment are we creating? How will it be experienced by the users, or by the people that live there? What role will it play? Will it block sound and sun? Like all of those questions, those deep, hard questions, Giraffe, the user can be thinking about, and Giraffe's just helping them by placing the geometry and doing the analytics invisibly. Kind of like the bicycle. You don't think about the pedaling. You don't think about the chain transferring force to the rear wheel. You pedal and you move. Um, Now, if you want to, in Giraffe, you can dive deep in and open the generative editor and look at it and look at everything and understand how the algorithm's working, and you can break it and manipulate it and change it. But if you just want to deal with the parameters, you can just deal with those and stay on the surface level. So if we change those setbacks from 3 and 3, we get much tighter warehouses, for example, and then I can stretch them. And the other thing that we're doing is we're building this ability for deep collaboration. And we think a lot about the future of work, and we think that subject matter experts are not going to disappear. Like structural engineers, you can devote a career to structural engineering and still not cover the full gamut of what's possible in terms of bridges and tunnels and buildings and all of these things, and the systems of timber and steel and concrete. And then that transport engineers and electrical engineers and all the subject matter experts, finance people, all of them need to come together. And what's happening with the computers is a lot of their processes are being algorithmized or automated and converted into steps that the computer can execute. And so what we needed to build was a way of bringing those experts together as people that can collaborate using their human judgment, but also that can collaborate algorithmically. So someone can say, I've got an algorithm that works out, say, water detention pond sizing or drainage, stormwater drainage requirements for a warehouse in this area. And they can apply this algorithm to the warehouse bit. And the road people can apply a road algorithm to a cycle path network. Talk about throughput of cycle paths or maximum and minimum curvature or slope or any number, however these things work. And this environment of Giraffe needs to support both. And so we've got this ability now to break the logic apart by different users or by different use cases, but then bring it all together in one digital twin. Basically with the concepts of apps or applets, like little pieces of logic that are independent in how they're created and set up, but then act in concert on this digital twin, on the shared digital twin. And the dev team have, blown me away with what they've delivered here, because it's achieving both of those things, which is simplicity of use plus this integration of multiple algorithms into one environment. Multiple algorithms and also multiple data sets. Obviously, one of the core things with Giraffe is that the whole thing happens in this data-rich environment without it overwhelming the user. So I think this release of Giraffe is a huge step forward in our goal of making this software effortless, making it so simple to use that that you do it almost for fun without sacrificing any of the analytical power that Giraffe provides.